Hello.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. Consumer Protection Act. It was passed like a bill. It reduced the UTP. UTP means ma'am unethical UTP. UTP मतलब unethical trade practices मैम. मैम इसका मैम इसकी वजह से मैम ब्लैक मार्केटिंग कम हुआ एंड होल्डिंग जो जमाखोरी होती थी वो कम हुई, एडल्ट्रेशन कम हुआ मैम. एंड इसके मैम जैसे मैम मतलब कंज्यूमर प्रोटेक्शन एक्ट के मैम बहुत सारे ऑब्जेक्टिव हैं. लाइक मैम ड्यू टू कंज्यूमर प्रोटेक्शन एक्ट it protect the consumers, it generate awareness in the society, it motivate the society and the organization, it secure the consumer by legal mechanism. इसके मैम बहुत सारे राइट हैं मैम, जैसे मैम राइट टू सेफ्टी, राइट टू चूज, राइट टू बी इन्फॉर्म, राइट टू कंज्यूमर एडुकेशन, राइट टू बी हर्ट, राइट टू बी कंपनसेशन. ये सब जितने राइट थे मैम, ये सब मैम 1986 के थे. इसके बाद मैम चेंज हुआ था 2019 में. इससे पहले मैम इसके कंज्यूमर फोरम है मैम. कंज्यूमर फोरम में मैम 3 कंज्यूमर फोरम आते हैं. डिस्ट्रिक्ट आता है, नेशनल आता है और स्टेट आता है. डिस्ट्रिक्ट फोरम में मैम होता है कि इसमें मैम 2 मेंबर्स होते हैं. एक प्रेसिडेंट होता है और एक प्रेसिडेंट और 2 मेंबर, जिसमें से एक मेंबर जो होता है वो मतलब वुमेन होनी चाहिए. दूसरा फॉर्म होता है स्टेट. ये मैम इसमें भी सेम ही होता है. 2 मेंबर होते हैं, एक प्रेसिडेंट और एक वुमेन रहनी ही चाहिए. और तीसरे होते हैं नेशनल, जिसमें 5 मेंबर्स होते हैं, जिसमें एक प्रेसिडेंट और 4 मेंबर होना चाहिए और 4 में से एक वुमेन नेसेसरी है. पहला जो मैम डिस्ट्रिक्ट फॉर्म है उसमें 20 लाख केसेस को मैम लिया जा सकता है, और दूसरे में 20 लाख से ऊपर केसेस को लिया जा सकता है मतलब स्टेट में. और तीसरे नेशनल जो फॉर्म है उसमें 1 करोड़ फॉर्म तक लिया जा सकता है.
20 लाख रुपए रुपीस के टर्म में बोला जाता है कि 20 लाख रुपीस तक का कोई केस होगा तो. हाँ,
यस मैम. ये था मैम कंज्यूमर प्रोटेक्शन एक्ट का पूरा.
ओके, टेल मी अबाउट द जॉइंट सेक्टर एंटरप्राइजेस.
जॉइंट सेक्टर एंटरप्राइजेस मैम, जॉइंट सेक्टर एंटरप्राइज उसको बोलते हैं जब प्राइवेट सेक्टर और पब्लिक सेक्टर जब मिल जाते हैं, उसी को मैम जॉइंट सेक्टर एंटरप्राइज बोलते हैं.
अच्छा, और बताइए.
इसमें मैम स्टेट कैपिटल का मैम 26% कैपिटल होना चाहिए स्टेट गवर्नमेंट का, मतलब कम से कम. इसमें
स्टेट गवर्नमेंट का या सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट का?
नहीं, स्टेट गवर्नमेंट का मैम.
Okay, anything else you want to tell me about the joint sector enterprises?
नो मैम, नो.
ठीक, okay, you can leave.
इसमें टैक्स होता है तो
Okay.
मैम इसमें मैम टाइप्स होता है मैम जॉइंट सेक्टर में. तो मैम जैसे ट्रांसफार्मिंग होता है, पैरा ट्रांसफार्मिंग होता है, और मतलब न्यू कंपनीज वगैरह होता है मैम ऐसा.
ओके, ठीक है. ओके प्रत्यय, you can leave. Okay.
थैंक यू.
Komal.
Good morning.
Good morning. Unmute. Okay, camera on है, ठीक है. Tell me about the Environment Protection Act.
Environment Protection Act. Environment Protection.
Unmute yourself. Unmute yourself. Komal. Komal, unmute yourself. Unmute कीजिए खुद को.
Sorry, ma'am.
Okay.
Environment Protection Act, it empowers the central government to establish authorities charged with the mandate of preventing environmental pollution.
Anything else?
The act was last amended in 1991. That's one, ma'am.
Okay. Anything else you don't want to speak about? Okay. Tell me about the STI policy.
STI policy.
What is the full form of that?
STI, ma'am. STI policy. Ma'am, it aims to foster, develop, and nurture a robust system for evidence and stakeholders driven.
What is that? Tell me the full form of it. And when it was implemented. STI Act, when it came.
STI. Ma'am, I forget it.
Okay. So tell me about the next question is, tell me about the CSR. Not CSR, do one thing. Do one thing. Tell me about the departmental management.
डिपार्टमेंटल मैनेजमेंट। मैम ये अलग अलग डिपार्टमेंटल मैनेजमेंट का रोल होता है कि वो अलग अलग डिपार्टमेंट में कोई भी काम को डिवाइड करता है और
डिपार्टमेंटल मैनेजमेंट है क्या? What is that?
डिपार्टमेंटल मैनेजमेंट।
Unmute yourself, Komal. Why you are muting yourself again and again? Unmute कीजिए खुद को.
सॉरी मैम, कॉल आ जाता है। हेलो मैम, मैं ऑडिबल?
Yes.
Yes ma'am. Department management functioning and productivity of a company division. कंपनी को डिवाइड करने में वो हेल्प करता है डिपार्टमेंटल मैनेजमेंट।
Okay. Okay, you can remove yourself.
थैंक यू मैम।
Okay. Anisha.
Good morning.
Good morning. Anisha, tell me about the public enterprises. What is that and what are the types of that?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, public enterprises are the enterprises which are managed and controlled by the government. Yes, ma'am.
Next. बोलिए types बताइए, ये सब बताइए.
Yes, ma'am. There are many features of public enterprises like state control. Government have social control over the industries. The failure of public and private control. The failure of public and private enterprises can be managed by the public enterprises. Management and operations of the firm. Accountability is accountability to the government. Some real status of the firm. These are the features, ma'am. And ma'am, separate funds are also comes from different enterprises in government sector.
What are the types?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. There are different forms of public enterprises, like department management. In department management, we hire civil servants like IAS, SSC, clear participants.
Candidates.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, the second one is company management. Third one is corporation. Corporation.
Okay. So, okay. Tell me about the STI policies.
Yes, ma'am. STI policy. STI, ma'am, it's full.
Now, what is the full form of?
Yes, ma'am. STI, its full form is. Ma'am, I'm missing right now. May I say another thing?
हाँ, बताइए STI policy के बारे में.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Sorry, ma'am. Ma'am, science, technology, and innovation policy. Its main focus was to sustainable development and growth of the environment. Its aim was to take the benefits of the science, technology, and growth of the society, and to encourage the private sector of the society. And Srishti was the policy of the STI policy. Srishti was the policy, one of the policy of STI, which aim was to focus on the growth of the society.
Okay. Okay, Anisha, you can leave the chat.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. Nandini.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning. Nandini, tell me about the Consumer Protection Act.
Ma'am, Consumer Protection Act came in 1986. It mainly it mainly consists the rights of consumer to protect them for the bad market qualities, and government and consumers should aware about the products qualities. And ma'am, if in 2019 this act enhanced into a new act, Consumer Protection Act 2019.
Okay. So what are the features of Consumer Protection Act?
To make aware of the consumer of qualities of the product, and to aware about the market, about the prices of the products, and to aware about the laws for the consumer, which is made by the government. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. Tell me about the joint sector enterprises. What are the types of joint sector enterprises, and what is the features of joint sector enterprises? No, you don't need to tell me the features. You just need to tell me the benefits, types, and what is joint sector enterprises.
Ma'am, joint sector enterprises is jointly started by the partnership of government and the private companies.
Okay, and what are the types?
Types, ma'am, भूल गए.
Benefits?
Ma'am, more capital, profit making organization, and
okay. Okay, Nandini. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, you can leave, Piche. Mahi.
Yes, ma'am. Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning. Mahi, tell me about the Environmental Protection Act.
Environmental Protection Act 1986. Yes, ma'am. Environmental Protection Act. Yes, ma'am. Environmental Protection Act 1986. 1986, and ma'am, it was enacted in 1986 by Stockholm Stockholm Conference in June. Ma'am, it was held in 1972 by Stockholm Conference, and ma'am, the EPA was enacted under Article 253 of the Indian Constitution, which provides the enactment of legislations for giving effect to international agreements. And ma'am, it empowers the central government to establish the authorities charged with the mandating to preventing the environmental pollutions.
Okay. You can tell me about the next question is that what is public enterprises, and what are the various types of that?
Public enterprises. Public enterprises. It is owned by government. It is owned, run, and managed by the government, and either by central or state governments. And ma'am, the forms of public enterprises are departmental management, company management, public corporations.
Okay. What are the types?
Ma'am, types.
Mahi, just wait for a sec. If you were, you can continue now. बोलिए Mahi, types क्या है?
Ma'am, types. Departmental, statutory, and company.
Okay. So, what is the departmental management?
Ma'am, departmental management. Departmental management. Ma'am, there are departmental. Ma'am, there are few. Ma'am, there are some undertakings which are run by the government departments. Example, postage and telegrams, information and broadcasting.
Okay. ठीक है Mahi, good. Mahi, you can use. Gaurav. Gaurav. Yes.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning. Gaurav, tell me about the STI policy. What are the features of that and what is that STI policy? What is the full form of STI?
Ma'am, SDI full form.
बताइए गौरव.
Yes, ma'am.
क्या है STI policy? STI का full form?
SDI full form. Ma'am, science, technology, and
innovation.
Yes, ma'am. Science, technology, and innovation policy.
What are the features of that?
The STI feature, ma'am, promote the spirit of scientific temper, enhancing skill for application of science among the youth, young from all social sector, making cares in science, research, and innovation attractive, encourage for talented and bright minds, establishing the world class, and ma'am, positioning India as among the top 5 global scientific powers by 2020.
Very good. Okay. Now the next question is that tell me about the Consumer Protection Act.
Ma'am, Consumer Protection Act. Ma'am, Consumer Protection 1986. It is the act. Ma'am, it was enacted by. Ma'am, it was enacted in 1986. And the Consumer Protection Act. It talked about the consumer protection.
What are the features of that? What are the features? What are the features?
Ma'am, features.
What are the features?
Ma'am, right to the protective first, and second, right to be informed.
These are the rights. I'm asking for the features.
Acha, features, ma'am. Features. Ma'am, features तो यही था सर.
These are the rights.
Okay, ma'am, features.
Okay, you can tell me the rights only. Tell me the rights.
बता रहे features.
Gaurav, please tell me fast, because
yes,
I need to take mark of others as well. You can tell me the rights only. Tell me the rights of the Consumer Protection Act. What are the various rights which is given to the consumer under this act?
Ma'am, it applies.
Rights, बोलिए, right to be informed, right to be represented.
Yes, ma'am, right to be informed, right to protect, right to be harmed, right to be heard, right to be choose.
Okay, Gaurav, you can remove yourself now. Okay. Aditya. Aditya. What is joint sector enterprises?
क्या मैम?
Joint sector enterprises क्या है? What is joint sector enterprises?
Joint sector.
What is joint sector enterprises?
मैम ज्वाइंट सेक्टर गवर्नमेंट और पब्लिक प्राइवेट सेक्टर मिलके जो कंपनी बनाती है उसको joint.
Very good. What are the types of that? What are the form or types?
Types of मैम?
Types of joint sector enterprises बताइए.
Types of joint sector.
What are the benefits of joint sector?
मैम बेनिफिट्स ऑफ ज्वाइंट सेक्टर मैम गवर्नमेंट पॉलिसी है जो उसको मैम यूज कर सकते हैं.
बोलते जाइए.
Yes, मैम. और फिर उससे मैम पब्लिक सेक्टर को भी फायदा होगा, बेनिफिट्स होगा. और मैम एम्प्लॉय को भी मैम वर्क मिलेगा.
Okay. Tell me about the Environment Protection Act.
Consumer protection.
Environment protection. Environment.
मैम नहीं पता.
Consumer Protection Act.
यस मैम. कंज्यूमर प्रोटेक्शन एक्ट 1986 में मैम लॉन्च हुआ था. और ये कंज्यूमर राइट्स को के लिए होता है. जैसे मैम अवेयरनेस ऑफ कंज्यूमर्स प्रोडक्ट के लिए, फिर मैम इम्प्रूवमेंट इन कंज्यूमर प्रोटेक्शन एक्ट में.
और क्या होता है कंज्यूमर प्रोटेक्शन एक्ट के राइट्स क्या क्या हैं? और टेल मी अबाउट द कंज्यूमर फोरम.
कंज्यूमर प्रोटेक्शन एक्ट के मैम राइट है ये मैम की MRP प्रोडक्ट का जितना होता है उससे ज्यादा आप नहीं ले सकते हैं.
बोलते जाओ.
और फिर प्रोडक्ट अगर मैम एक्सपायर है तो उसको मैम लीगल एक्शन भी लिया जा सकता है कंज्यूमर के द्वारा.
कंज्यूमर फोरम का मतलब क्या है? कंज्यूमर फोरम क्या है?
कंज्यूमर फोरम.
Okay, you can remove yourself. Abhinav.
Yes ma'am.
So joint sector enterprises.
Yes ma'am.
Joint sector enterprises.
The government sector and the private sector, the government sector and the private sector are set up new enterprises. It's called a joint sector enterprises.
What are the types of joint sector enterprises? What are the types of joint sector enterprises?
Sorry ma'am, nahi pata hai.
Okay, tell me about the benefits of joint sector enterprises. What is the benefit of joint sector enterprises?
Sorry ma'am, nahi pata. ये topic थोड़ा मुझे confusion लग रहा है.
Okay, tell me about the private enterprises. ये public enterprises.
Yes ma'am. Public enterprises refer to the enterprises which are managed, owned and controlled by the government, either central government and the state government or the local self government. It is also known as a public sector undertaking, and the main feature of the public enterprises is the state control. It is owned and controlled by the state government and management. They some of them may be controlled by the professional. And the accountability, they are accountable to the public. They are accountable to the public, and because they are accountable to the government, which represent the public. And the legal status, they are separate legal entity. So it is established established by the law. And the separate fund, they are assigned a separate fund because of the undertake activity, because of their undertake activity. And the enterprise, there are three forms of public enterprises: public corporations, उसके बाद से departmental management and company management. Departmental management, there are some undertaking which are the control and controlled by the government department, as for example railway department, defense department, in the and the main feature of departmental enterprises, it is owned and controlled by the department to the government, by the government, various departments by the government. And the public corporation refers to a special act in legislature in run of the undertaking enterprises. And public corporation, the main feature of public corporation is that they can take a decision independently. And some of the public corporation, example IFCI, yani industrial corporations of Industrial Financial Corporation of India, and Food Corporations of the India, and the LIC, etc. This is public enterprises.
Okay, good. You can remove yourself, Anku.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. Roll number 71, Anmol.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Anmol, tell me about that. What is Consumer Protection Act and what are the various rights under the Consumer Protection Act?
Consumer protection is a socio-economic movement which seeks to protect the rights of consumers in relation to goods purchased and service availed.
Okay. What is the meaning of socio-economic?
Which is related to welfare of the people and society.
Okay. Chaliye, continue कीजिए.
Objectives of Consumer Protection Act: to provide better all-round protection to consumers, to create framework, to provide rights to consumers, to safeguard the rights of consumers.
Okay. What is STI policy? What is STI? What is the full form of that?
Service Technology and Innovation Policy. It promotes the spread of scientific management amongst all sections of society, linking contribution of science research and innovation system.
Okay, you can remove yourself and move.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Yes, next one is Safulla. Roll number 83. Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Turn on your camera.
मैम अभी हम थोड़ा बाहर निकले हुए मैम.
Okay.
एक सेकंड मैम. मैम A
Tell me about the.
company,
हाँ बोलिए.
a company whose stock is owned jointly by the
Okay.
shares of a company.
Tell me about
company.
Consumer Protection Act.
Consumer.
अच्छा पहले बताइए who are consumers?
Consumer.
Who are consumers? पहले ये बताइए मुझे, फिर Consumer Protection Act बताइए. Consumers कौन होते हैं?
Consumer है a person who buys things or stock uses by.
अच्छा tell me Consumer Protection Act.
Consumer
Protection Act बताइए.
Consumer protection.
Public enterprises.
मैम रिमूव हो जाए.
Yes.
Yes ma'am.
और कैमरा ऑन करके बैठिए क्लास में. Turn on your camera. Public enterprises. Yes.
Ma'am, public enterprise which मैम ये इसका नहीं पता.
Tell me about the joint sector enterprises.
Joint sector enterprise joint sector enterprise is inherited a partnership between the government and the private sector of the government, which will take place will less than 26%.
Tell me about the Environment Protection Act 1986.
Environment Protection 1986, it is it is owned by central government. It includes air, water, land, and the other features is hazardous substance, that is chemical factory, and the other one is chemical factory and occupier in relation to anything which not harm the society as well.
Okay, remove yourself, Prashant. Okay. This is you want to say something more?
इसी के बारे में?
Environment Protection Act में और भी कुछ चीजें बोलनी है आपको?
हाँ मैम, याद नहीं आ.
Okay, okay, remove yourself. Okay, remove yourself. Yes, Harsh. Harsh, turn on your camera.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Harsh, tell me about the STI policy.
STI policy, ma'am, it was established in 2013 by the Government of India. The STI policy stands for Science, Technology and Innovation Policy. STI policy, the motive of STI policy was to bring scientific and technological innovations in the country. The government has the government motivated the people to come toward the scientific innovations by investing in the R&D of the by the private enterprises. The government itself has established R&D's, research and development institutions in the country, so that the science and the technological skills and the various scientific researches can be given a boost in the country.
Very good. Okay. Tell me the next question is, tell me about the Environment Protection Act 1986.
Sorry, ma'am, I have not read that chapter till yet.
Okay, so tell me about the public enterprises.
Public enterprises are those enterprises which are owned by the government. Public, they are accountable to the people because they are accountable to the government, which are accountable to the people. And in public enterprises, there are three forms of management. Either it can be a departmental management, government company, or a public corporation. And in public enterprises, the funding is done by the government through either it is annually or by the government treasury.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. Okay, Harsh, good. You can remove yourself, Harsh.
Thank you, ma'am.
Next one, Ritik.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning. Ritik, tell me about the Consumer Protection Act. What are the various rights under this?
Consumer Protection Act, the means of Consumer Protection Act, the means of the act of UAT practices. Features of Consumer Protection Act is under measurement, poor quality, adulterage and unsafety.
Okay. Anything else you want to tell me about this?
Whatever.
और कुछ बोलना चाहते हैं आप इसमें कंज्यूमर प्रोटेक्शन एक्ट में?
No.
Okay, tell me about the joint sector enterprises.
A partnership between private sector and the government.
Okay. You want to say something more?
In which is the government? Capital is less than is 26%.
Okay. Okay, Ritik, you can remove yourself.